the recording purposes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You want me to repeat the revision?
We're not able to hear you though.
Others can hear me?
Yeah. All good.
Okay. So do you want me to repeat the revision again?
No,
quickly?
that's okay.
Okay. Fine. So we saw the combination mudras. We saw the daily 6 mudras. The first mudra is your Gyan mudra. Second mudra is your order is also interchangeable. So second is your Prithvi mudra. Third is your Apanavayu mudra. Fourth is your Dhyana mudra. Okay. Left over right for women, right over left for men. And then you have your Prana mudra, the reset button, which has to be prescribed whenever you're prescribing any mudras to anyone. Even if you give anyone one mudra and say this is for your headache relieving, hold your Apanavayu mudra, then immediately you have to add Prana mudra for 10 minutes. So Prana mudra is a standard prescription for everyone. And then you have finally the Shunya Vayu mudra for good undisturbed sleep. Okay, 6 mudras, 10 minutes each of them. Okay, so we will proceed on these lines. We'll start off with today and the degree level where you need to know the basic multiple varieties of mudras. Okay, so where we are going to get into the subject really. So all of these which are being discussed over the 2 days, all of these are in that Suman Chuplankarji's book. It's on my blog as well. And Suman Chuplankarji's book has all the blog has all the link, even the link to buy the book on Amazon. So the thing is, what I have done here, all of us can read and learn. What I have done on over the 3 days that I'm covering until today is only simplifying it, mapping it differently as it was revealed to me from various sources, a kind of connecting the dots I've done. So and how to remember it, like when you read Google it and see the net, they'll tell you hold this, these 2 fingers are for Prana mudra, your energizer, your immunity booster. This is what you're getting on all the circulation. Why you're holding it, that's the idea you get through this session. Okay, that's why we call it science behind the mudras. Then diagnosis, we will have a quick recap. Yesterday, we already saw what could be the diagnosis to be done, the process. Any problem fully understood is half solved, that we saw. So on those lines, we saw the 4 steps to any prescription is first find the problem, then find the cause for the problem, and then you find the solution. And once you know where you have to land, what is the solution, then you move on to prescribing the methods to solution or the cure or your mudras. Okay, so here is your challenges or the disease or whatever you want to name it, the problem. Then heya hetu is the cause for the problem. Then you have hano, that is your solution that you're going to prescribe. Hanopaya is the methods and the upaya that you're going to give to reach the solution level. So disease is heya. Hetu will be your cause for the diseases. Okay, so then you have Hano, solution is good health. Okay, from this session we want good health, and Hanopaya will be your mudras that you prescribe to attain good health and reset to avoid the disease setting in. Okay, so the first step will be to identify whether the issue, the disease is on account of a psychological kind or if it's a physical kind. That is also another aspect that each one of us, because mostly generally it could be a psychological, like we said, it starts from the thoughts, the adi, which causes the vyadi. So it could be a cause of thoughts, and that could be a psychogenic pain. So identify that and start working with your 6 daily mudras. That itself should be the solution. If not, then we can go for the therapeutic mudras. Okay, so that could be an option to look at. For example, when let's look at a hospital situation. You have 2 patients. Both the patients have fracture on the same hand at the same place. Okay, elbow joint is broken or something, but they are both in the adjacent beds in the hospital and have a cast on their hand. One has got it on account of a war scenario. He's caught it in the battlefield, and the other one has got it in a accident. So tell me, how will be the mindset for both of them? Okay, so when the person who has got the fracture from, yes, yes, Chitraji. Okay, so if the fracture is by the war on the battlefield, he's so excited to get back to war. He's so happy. I said, let me get back to war. I don't mind breaking more elbows. And then he is, the people who are visiting him are equally excited and saying, wait, we're waiting, itching for you to come back to the battlefield and in our battalion, and let's have fun there, get yourself cured really fast. And he's going to be smiling all the time. Say, hey, this is nothing, man. I am going to go and fight more and get hurt even more. So that is how the war veteran is going to view his fracture. Whereas the same fracture from an accident, the other patient is going to be grumbling. You know, why have I got this fracture? From where did this happen? What karma has happened? Why fate is playing with me? He's going to blame it and he's going to find fault with it, and he's going to not heal fast. So who's going to heal faster in these two conditions? The vet, both of them, same conditions, same issue, same challenge, but the journey into healing is totally different. One is viewing it with a smile, with a happy mode, and he's saying ready for more fractures. The other one is grumpy and grumbling and blaming others, and even people who are visiting is very upset and sad that it has happened to him. So it is absolutely how you view the challenges thrown at you by the divine, because the moment challenges are thrown at you, he gives you the journey to through the challenge. He gives you people through the challenge where you're wondering, I thought I was stuck here. I don't know from where you landed. So many coincidences happen, providences happen, and we do conquer all our challenges. Do we do it with a smile, or do we do it with a grumbling face? Is all that it takes. Okay, so, and I told you all our problems are only 3 types. Okay, so it could be Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, or Adi Dhaivika. So only 3 problems we have. On that note, let's go into learning mudras today. Okay, so the first mudra for the day. First sound we heard, Omkara. Now we saw the Sarvagna Bija. Now we're going to start today's session with the Adi Mudra. Okay, so how is Adi Mudra held? It is held with the thumb inside. Remember, I will be asking you this question at the very end also. So thumb, and then you close it with all the other fingers very gently. Okay, wonderful. This is Adi Mudra. Smile when you hold the mudra. Yes. Wonderful. Smile. Okay. Now the question. Why is it called Adi Mudra? Yes. Omkar is all jumping.
Ma'am, because it helps you to reduce the thoughts.
Reduce the thoughts. Okay. But why is it called Adi Mudra? What does Adi mean?
Like when you think also you get dizzy.
Oh, it's not Adi Javyati, that Adi.
Okay. But Adi, what is the meaning of Adi?
The same as Adi Javyati, maybe. I think he's confused with that.
No, that's okay. It's okay. Each one comes up with their own answer and the connect is good. Okay. Paribhasha keeps changing depending on the context. Yes. Anybody else? Adi, why is it?
The beginning.
Okay. But why is this mudra called Adi Mudra?
Because
Because maybe the
think
Because
Yes.
thumb is the primary, element.
it helps control the Agni.
The seed is wrapped.
Okay. We still not got the answer. Yes, I'm still waiting for answers.
Adi means the first one, the
Yes.
first and foremost, or the most important. So I think because the thumb stands for fire, it's probably that's why it's called Adi.
Not there. Focus. Go back. See, find out who holds this mudra.
Garbhamudra.
Generally, kids when they are born,
Child,
having their
infants,
hands like this.
Jayanti ji has got it. Child position. Somebody
The
else
kids
said
when
that.
they're born, the kids when they are born, they're always, the hands are like this. Is it?
I'm liking this. Okay. So the kids when they are born, now let's become the kid. What were you holding when you were born? You never say that. What were you holding when you were born? You were born holding this mudra.
Like it's always good.
It's our first mudra. Okay. It's our first mudra. So it's called Adi Mudra.
I got it right.
Okay. So become the child, become the kid. Every day when you hit bed, hold this mudra. So beautiful. You're going to sleep on Ma Vasundhara. Go to bed on your bed. Hold this mudra. Feel you're inside the mother's womb. Of course, we are on Mother Earth's womb every night. Deep sleep, and you travel to Hiranyagarbha in that deep sleep or Sushupti state. Okay. So that journey, that is what we discussed 2 days ago about Nitya Pralaya. Every day it's a pralaya where you hit, and where are you sleeping? In the beautiful Hiranyagarbha's Ma Vasundhara's lap. So feel that, hold this mudra and go to sleep. You cannot, all the elements are subsided and merged with her. Okay. So Adi Mudra, because it's your first mudra, our first mudra. Adi means first, and we were born holding this mudra. Okay, now let's see the benefits of Adi Mudra. It helps digestion. Okay, it helps relax all the nerves. It decreases. So all the hyperactive kids can hold this mudra. So it will reduce their hyperactivity. Okay, actually they are not hyper. We are too old to handle them. Okay, all children are hyper. We were also hyper. We forget it's the same genes. Okay, so we are unable to cope with their activity that we blame it on the child. No, it's actually they are just right. And we need to retune ourselves. Okay, going from there, the most important, it increases lung capacity. Okay, it increases lung capacity and relaxes us. Most important, I need the video on today at least to see all the beautiful smiles when I'm saying every thing that you're going to recover from. This is going to cure snoring. Okay, yeah, now everybody is excited. All ready to teach your husband, right? So this is going to cure snoring. What happens actually? Okay, I told you this is the head region. So every child, when it is born, it has this umbilical cord connect with the mother, and the nutrients are supplied to the umbilical cord of the child through the umbilical cord. Now it has to hit the brain region. Though it has to be supplied to the head region, the oxygen has to go to the head region. So Adi Mudra supplies oxygen to the head region. So what happens when you're snoring? Actually, there is a depletion of oxygen. They are so engrossed in working, and all of us, whoever is into snoring, okay, no guys and girls separate. So whoever is into snoring, it's because you're so much concentrating in your work that you don't do a proper breathing. And when there is no proper breathing, oxygen supply to the body is depleted. In such cases, snoring manifests itself in the night when the body is healing itself. More snoring, it helps supply oxygen to every part of the body. Instead, Adi Mudra is going to do that. It's going to supply oxygen to the head region. Okay, so snoring gets cured. Wonderful. Second mudra. Okay, so Adi Mudra with a smile, we have held that. So hold it any way you want. You're going to go to sleep with the mudra. You're going to do it this way. You're going to do it if you're sitting, you can hold it upwards. Okay, then you have now every fight, one has to win. So the winner mudra is your all elements should be on a real high. We saw how to subside all the elements. So to have a real hype on all the elements, Panchamukhi mudra. Wonderful. Panchamukhi mudra. All the fingers are pointing towards the sky, joined together. Okay. Panchamukhi mudra. Wonderful. Lot of energy today because we're going to be practicing many mudras. So be connected and observe the energy flow in your body. Okay, this is your Panchamukhi mudra, the Vena mudra. Do you see the directors, the scene in the movies when the director is talking or the presenting a PPT, they keep putting their fingers together and touching the tips. Okay, so Panchamukhi mudra. It may be a coincidence, but then it works. This is Panchamukhi Mudra. Now that we have children on the show, and my favorite, Omkar, is here. So we'll go for that memory mudra to activate the concentration for a child and just before they start studying. Okay, so whether it is Suryodaya, Suryast, or whenever they are studying, a few about 5 breaths of this mudra. This is called Hakini Mudra for memory and concentration. So the same Panchamukhi Mudra where the little finger and your thumb is brought in a straight line. The same mudra. This is your Hakini Mudra. And as you do this, very important to close your eyes, breathe in, concentrate on Ajna Chakra, breathe out, concentrate on Prajna Chakra, breathe in, concentrate on Ajna Chakra, midpoint of the eyebrows, breathe out, concentrate on the tip of the nose, your Prajna Chakra. Once again, breathe in with a smile, Ajna Chakra, midpoint of eyebrows. Breathe out with a smile, tip of your nose, Prajna Chakra. One more time, breathe in, midpoint of eyebrows. Breathe out, tip of your nose. Breathe in, Ajna Chakra, midpoint of eyebrows. Breathe out, tip of your nose, Prajna Chakra. Now gently rub your palms, cup your eyes, open your eyes into your palm. It's become a habit now, no? Over 3 days. Yes. So that is your Hakini Mudra. So now what are chakras? Any idea? Anybody can say? I used Agnya Chakra, Mooladhara Chakra, Navel Chakra, Anahata Chakra over the last 2 days. So what do you mean by chakra?
Intersecting channels. The point where the channels meet and go.
Yeah.
The nodal
But yes.
points, like where the channels meet. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Anybody else wants to add to it? Okay. It is the junction point, nodal points like Mrinalini ji shared, and of what? Of all the nadis, the nerves. So these are the junction points, they call the ganglion. And there are, yesterday we saw nadis, right? 72 crores, 72 lakhs. Okay, that was a beautiful number. And we were like fiber network and across India. You can imagine it within your body. Similarly, here chakras, there are 114 chakras. So 2 are outside the body. So totally 114, 86 plus 28. So 86 micro chakras, 21 mini chakras, and 7 major chakras. Okay, so these, they are all spread all over the body. I'll just take a few minutes to explain chakras. And yeah, so going into it, we, the 7 minor chakras are 7 on each of the 3 nadis. Okay, so the 3 nadis are Ida Nadi, Pingala Nadi, the moon channel, the sun channel, and the Sushumna Nadi right in the middle. Okay, 7 minor chakras. Then, so 21, 7 each. So 7 threes are 21 minor chakras. Then you have 7 major chakras, which is right on your Sushumna Nadi. And what are these nadis? Where are these nadis? The Sushumna Nadi is exactly between your backbone and your foot pipe in an imaginary line there. Okay, and Sushumna Nadi itself is not visible, and you have 3 more nadis within that to raise your Kundalini. So it's a very, very beautiful journey within the self, and it's very difficult to comprehend all this. It has a Vajra Nadi, Chitrini Nadi, and then the Brahma Nadi. That's where the activation happens. So this kind of a construct is what you can find, Nadi inside a Nadi. Can you believe that? So beautifully constructed, a long journey to understand all of that. Right now, we will stick to 7 into 3, 21 minor chakras and 7 major chakras in the Sushumna Nadi. 7 major chakras are exactly mapped in the allopathy terms to our endocrine glands. So the Mooladhara chakra is mapped to your sex glands, your Swadhisthana chakra is mapped to your adrenaline glands, your navel chakra, your Manipura chakra is mapped to your digestive gland, and you have Anahata chakra is mapped to your thymus gland, your Vishuddhi chakra is your thyroid gland, your Agnya chakra is your pituitary gland, and your Brahmarandra, your Sahasrara chakra is your pineal gland. Okay, and they
I
all
have a
have their own
question.
roles. Now yes, somebody?
Yeah, I have a question. Is it 7 minor chakras on 3 nadis?
Yeah.
So
7
the 3
3s are
nadis
21.
are Ida, Pingala, and again, there'll be one more set on the Sushumna.
Yes, yes. They're all junctions. So they map here and then they map to the main nadi. They all map here and then come and meet here. Finally, all the 100 major nadis meet here. So the easiest relaxation exercise is just take all your fingertips, always fingertips, because the creator is there. And then you just tap here, gentle tap. You will see, observe the energy flowing till your toes. Try tapping with a smile, and you will see the energy flowing within till your toes. Okay. So that these are the 7 major chakras, and we have seen how they are mapped to the other things. The micro chakras. So why have I come to this? Is your prajna chakra, I said, is your intuitive chakra right at the tip of your nose. Agnya chakra we saw here. Okay. So similarly, we have many chakras in our micro chakras in your jaw gland. Okay, so any block in any nadi, all you have to do is pinch your eyebrows. See, just pinch your eyebrows and see how much of a relaxation happens. Tap below your eye in the bone junction. Okay, and then you feel the jaw. Press along the jaw line. You get a complete relaxation. Mostly these are the points where you have your blocks. All along your ears also. That's a totally different concept. The ear itself comprises of the entire body. So this is your micro chakras. Similarly, uttering of our shlokas, the micro chakras are all in our below the tongue and on the rooftop, on the roof of your mouth. Okay, so that is why we have our just chanting, not even chanting, just reading out all your Sanskrit letters, A to Ha, A to Ha, A to Aha, Ka to Ha. If you chant, that itself is a energizer. That itself will give you. How does it work? You have the Kakka Ganga coming from the guttural. The sound comes from the guttural point. Then it moves up. Chacha Jajana is palatal. Okay. Then you have Tatha Dadhana, which is cerebral. See what happens? The tongue rolls, and you have micro chakras hitting your in your roof of the mouth, which triggers your cerebral energies. That is how they have the rolling of tongue for Kechari Mudra to release your Amrita Kalasha, the Bindu Chakra, and your Amrita falls, which you catch on your tongue. That's a deeper science. But right now we know Kakha Gagana is guttural, Chacha Jajana is palatal, Tatha Dadana is rolling of tongue, retroflex, which the touches the rooftop. The back of the tongue touches the rooftop, so of the mouth. So what happens is there are chakras in the back of your tongue. There are chakras in your roof of the mouth, which triggers your cerebral energies. Then you have Tata Dadana, dental. They use your teeth with your tongue. And then you have, what is that?
Papa Baba Ma.
Yes, which part of your body?
Oshta.
Of your mouth?
Lip.
Lips, labial, Oshta. So the lips is what you use to chant Papa Baba Ma. So it's a beautiful combination of activating all your micro chakras located in these regions and removing all your blocks. So all your shlokas that you chant, early morning Suprabhatam, or you chant Vishnu Sahasranamam, Aditya Hridayam, whatever you chant, whether you know it or not, if you utter it correctly, it's going to have positive benefit on you. Okay, so that is how shloka chanting, even listening, is going to have a great impact. So that is a little deviation. We saw Adi Mudra, we saw Panchamukhi Mudra, we saw Hakini Mudra. Now we're going to go for the next Mudra. Adi Mudra is going to reduce the heat in the body, right? Heat is going to get reduced, though there is supply of oxygen to the head region. So those who can't, those who need even in summer, some people they feel cold with the fan on, and they prefer no fan. So for such people where cold is a dominant factor in their body, they can hold Mushti Mudra. So all the elements are reduced and the thumb goes on top of your ring finger. That is the Surya Mudra. So that is your Mushti Mudra. These Adi Mudra and Mushti Mudra, excellent for the thumb should go on top of the ring finger. Okay, Prithvi Mudra. Prithvi, on top of Prithvi. So this is a reduction of all the elements. Here it is excellent for depression curing and constipation curing. Why? Because Surya Mudra is going to activate your metabolic rate. Okay, so double the marker here. So your depression is gone for a toss and your metabolic rate increases. And so your constipation problem is resolved and your elements are also reduced. Okay, then the most important now for the individual related, for the everyday maintenance of physical maintenance, we will see some 6 mudras. Shall we move on? Any doubts till here? Okay, good. So Sahaj Shank Mudra. Interlock all your fingers and then hold your thumbs parallel to each other. Okay, this is Sahaj Shank Mudra. This activates 10 nadis. I told you there are so many nadis, 10 important nadis. This is going to activate. Sahaj Shank Mudra. What is the health benefit in this? This is going to correct any problem with the anus, piles, hemorrhoids, fissures. Okay, and most important, this mudra is going to straighten your back, especially slip disc problem. People, as you're aging, you get a stoop in the back. Okay, that stoop goes away, your back becomes straight. So this is going to give you that benefit. You interlock all your fingers and hold Sahaj Shanka Mudra parallel to each other. Wonderful. Now, next, what are the other challenges we face? Abdominal organ problems. Okay. We face gastric problem regularly. Okay, so all these strengthening, you know, liver, kidney stone, gallbladder stone, all these abdomen related challenges we have. So for that, this is a spiritual mudra. Do it with reverence. So we have something called Chakra Mudra. Okay, so turn your videos on. Chakra Mudra is slightly difficult to do, and observe how it is done. Your index finger on your thumb, right index finger, follow the instruction, right index finger on your left thumb, and your right little finger on your left index finger. Okay.
Left index.
Turn it, correct. Right index finger on the left thumb. Now twist your hand, right little finger on your left index finger. Wonderful. Now the right thumb presses the bone, the wrist here in the middle of the wrist. And then this is the first mudra which you're going to press really, really hard. Hard. I should see 2-2. Yeah, you should look like a chakra. Is mine looking like a chakra? Yes. Wonderful. Oh my God. All of you have got it right.
Excuse me. So the right thumb will be down here.
Right thumb will be in the middle of the wrist. Yes.
Okay. And the ring. Okay.
Yes. Yes. I get to see Rekha ji. Palm over palm. Big smile. Yeah. Palm over palm. Not here. Hold it outside. Palm over palm. Press it hard. First mudra to press hard. Yes. Press it really hard and hold it tight. Who holds the chakra?
Vishnu.
Wonderful. What is this chakra called?
Sudarshana.
Sudarshana. Wonderful. Yes. Okay. Now this is going to activate all your, correct all your digestive challenges in your abdominal region. And this is a very good mudra to, somebody was asking, no? Tridoshas, that tridoshas will be in normal, okay, balanced approach to the tridosha, no hype and this thing. And this is also going to give you an aura. Your aura is going to increase with chakra mudra. Okay, now that's not the end of it. So what happens?
I have a
Yes.
question, ma'am. Okay, the right thumb will be on the left wrist, the middle,
Yeah.
right? So where will the left little finger be?
They're all out. They're all out. Spread out. They're all
Okay.
spread out.
Okay, so it doesn't have to come to the wrist, just open like this.
Yeah, it's fine.
There are mine. Okay, like this.
Yes, yes. So yesterday we saw that the thumb indicates your head and all that, backbone and neck and all that. Similarly, all your internal organs, your lungs are here, your stomach parts, all your pressure points, acupressure points are here. So when you press it hard, they get activated. Okay, they get activated. The pressure points in your palm is going to get activated. Okay, now let's recall what happens after a good sapadu in your kalyanam, in a wedding. What do? What do we do after a heavy meal? We say, I need a pan, right? Vetla pak, we need betel nut. So we go take it. And how do we beat the araka nut? How do we beat the pak? How do we crack the nut? Just show it to me. Not with your mouth. First on your hand, you crush it, right? How do you crush it? Yes. So that is your chakra mudra. We've been doing it, right? So we crush it in our hand, especially when children have gastric trouble and they run to their grandma. What do they give them? Go bring omam. So the child runs to the kitchen, brings ajwain, wherever high, however high it is. Even if the grandma is standing there, she'll not give it. She'll say, reach for it. So that stretching is going to release the colic problem, gastric problem. And after that, when the ajwain is removed, she will ask him to put it on his palm, crush it in his palm. She will not crush it and give it to him. The one who has the colic or the gastric trouble has to put it on their palm, crush it, and then eat it. It's going to have, all of them are connected. Crushing it on the palm, putting it, that acupressure, ajwain acts as the acupressure, crushing it there adds more pressure, and then you popping it in your mouth, and ajwain, you know how it helps after that. So chakra mudra, we have always been doing it. Only thing is today we realize, okay, and we are going to do it with a pattern and pressing hard. Okay, shall I move on? Wonderful. Yes, thumbs up. Wonderful. Then Surabhi Mudra. So the next major challenge is going to be our hormonal imbalances, very often seen in recent days. So hormonal imbalance, this is the Surabhi Mudra for you. Again, it is going to activate your aura. It's going to correct your tridoshas and bring it in line, and your internal hormonal challenges are going to be set right. Very, very effective mudra. From my past few sessions and from my personal experience of prescribing mudras, it has been having tremendous effect everywhere. Okay, especially menopause related hormonal imbalances, it corrects it like that. Nobody faces any discomfort during that period. So how to hold this mudra? Now before we go, who is Surabhi? Who is Surabhi? What is Surabhi? Where have you heard the name Surabhi?
Maybe it's a cow.
Okay, cow.
I
More
think
on,
it's a cow, ma'am.
okay, more on that.
It gives everything.
Wonderful. It gives everything. So Surabhi and Nandini are both daughters of Kamadhenu and wish fulfiller, granter. Just like your Kalpa Vriksha, these cows also give you whatever you want. So Surabhi Mudra will give you whatever you want. Okay, so make the right wish. That is why I kept this, though it seemed out of subject, out of context yesterday when I was talking about Trikarana Shuddhi, why in a mudra class. Now Trikarana Shuddhi is going to play a major role only if your thoughts are aligned with the universe, only if your thoughts are in sync with your needs, only then the wish will be delivered to you. Okay, so bring your palms together, a tricky mudra. Okay, not easy. Interchange your index finger and middle finger. Listen to the instruction, interchange your index fingertip and middle fingertip. And then interchange your little finger and your ring finger. That is your Surabhi Mudra. So wonderful, Preeti ji, excellent. You got it at the very first attempt. Oh, auntie got it. Mrinalini's auntie there got it. Guest on the session. Wonderful.
But is there the which way it has to move? Because we can do interchange can happen either to the left or to the right.
Yeah. It can happen anyway.
Either is okay.
Either is okay. Okay, wonderful. Miss Vishwanathan Raman also got it. Wonderful. Now, why do we call it Surbi? Just wonderful. Soumya ji, you got it. How does it look when you invert it? How does it look?
Oh, like a cow.
Udders of a cow. You know where you get the milking happens, the udders of a cow. Very interestingly, I was doing this in my office where all 20 plus children are my team, part of my team. And they were like, my God, auntie, ma'am, we used to do this in our childhood time playing with our friends. Don't do for long, Soumya ji, Mrinalini ji, your hands might pain. Just keep massaging your fingers. First time you're doing it. Yes. So they were telling me that this used to be a game when they were small, like we used to play with stones, no? Similarly, they have been playing with mudras, and they said this used to be a regular feature there. And it has cured many people on the team, youngsters with severe bleeding disorders during menstrual time. Very interestingly, one of the participants who said, first time attending a mudra session, ma'am, I wish to share on this session that this mudra was prescribed to me by a yoga yoga related advisor consultant in Apollo. So they were visiting that hospital for infertility treatment, and they were like, let's go for IVF was the last option. So the husband said 2 months, having given so many years, let's give just 2 months for yoga, and let's ask the yoga consultant here, yoga therapist, because she was doing a PhD in research in mudras. So she suggested a few asanas, and she suggested this mudra. All this was told was hold this mudra, and she held this mudra every day while going to office by cab and coming back. So no concentration, nothing. There was only one wish, need a child. Otherwise, she was holding this mudra during her travel. Low in 2 months' time, she was pregnant, and she was very happy to share. And she said, "I didn't know there's so much of science behind it. I just followed it blindly, and it worked for me." And now they're blessed with 2 children, all 6 and 8 years old.
So how long can we hold this?
Yeah, for people with, this is a therapeutic mudra. Both chakra mudra and this mudra, they are all therapeutic mudras. All the mudras that we are discussing today are therapeutic mudras. Okay, don't hold it for longer than 15 minutes per day for a mild issue. If it is a major issue, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening is good enough.
And the fingers are actually getting pressed. That is fine. It is not a light.
It's not a light. It won't be light. Slightly pressure will be there.
That is fine.
Yes, and don't hold for long now. And even when you start, hold for just 2-3 minutes. Massage your fingers every time so that you get relieved.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah,
And
fine.
what is the science behind the interlocking? So we are switching the Panchabhutas there, right? So
Yeah, we are switching, and they are trying to balance them with each other, meet each other, and talk to each other there.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then they come to a consensus and say, let's work and balance through the body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's how the most of the mudras work. You know, they meet each other. The Udana Mudra also, the space and the Vayu are talking to each other. And as we move further, we will be observing many more mudras on the same lines. So these are all therapeutic mudras, whatever. Till yesterday, 6 daily mudras, your Pancha Prana mudras, and balancing Bhutam, Pancha Bhuta mudras. All of them can be done all through the day. Whatever we are doing today is only prescriptory mode, and you have to do it based on a prescription for the self or for somebody. That is why we started with how to diagnose a problem. Okay, so from there we started. So be very careful when you're prescribing these mudras, and follow the approach to the prescription. Okay, now next is our health. All the body parts, body self is taken care, nourished. Sahasranka mudra, chakra mudra for abdominal glands, and Surabhi mudra for this. So where should the thumb go? Nobody asked me that. So the thumb is held open, okay, or it can go to the base of the little finger. That will be your Varuna Surabhi mudra, Jala Surabhi mudra. Okay, so it can go to the base of the little finger. Very good mudra for menopause problems, because water balance is also attained here, and very important for hair fall, where pitta is on a high, and very important for your acidity reflex. Okay, so that is also working, helps with this. Then you can take it to the base of Prithvi, where the body is strengthened with the hormonal imbalance is corrected. Then it goes to base of the middle finger, and then it goes to the base of the index finger, Vayu Surbi. So middle finger will actually connect you with, put you on to the, accelerate you onto the spiritual journey. Vayu Surbi Mudra will correct any air imbalance in the body along with the hormonal imbalance. So severe back cramp, severe pain in the back, okay, that can be corrected with this mudra, Vayu Surbi Mudra. So Jala Surbi Mudra, Prithvi Surbi Mudra, Akash Surbi Mudra, Vayu Surbi Mudra, or just Surbi Mudra. Okay, with a smile. And Surbi is wish fulfilling. So right thoughts in mind, spiritual mudra. So be careful when you're using it. Do not misuse any mudras. Going forward, whenever we catch fever, somebody wanted which mudra to do when we catch fever. Okay, so when you catch fever, you're actually feeling very, very light, right? So you're in an imbalanced mode. Your connect with earth is going to be on a toss. So hold Prithvi Mudra for 10 minutes. Definitely Prithvi Mudra. Then you have a new mudra here to balance both heat and water. Okay, this is also a beauty mudra, beauty enhancing mudra. No smiles on all the ladies, huh? My God. A beauty enhancing mudra, beauty parlor visits, or even the guys should be smiling. Their costs are going to come down. This is your Pankaja mudra. Your, yes, blossoming. Pankaja mudra, heat is balanced, water is balanced. And it's going to cool the body and reduce the heat, and your fever is going to be taken care. And you're going to be smiling, right? Pankaja brings a smile on your face. Wonderful. Pankaja mudra. So, Chitra auntie is already holding her beautiful face within her palms with the mudra. Okay. So you have your Prithvi mudra to bring your grounding back to earth. Then you're holding your Pankaja mudra. Remember, when you prescribe any mudra, what is a must mudra?
Prana mudra.
Prana mudra. Yes, Gan mudra. Preeti ji got it right. So she's attentive. So Prana mudra. 10 minutes of Prana mudra. You can hold it. This can be held morning 10 minutes, all the three, evening 10 minutes, all the three. Prithvi mudra all day is okay. Pankaja mudra is also balancing mudra is okay. And Prana mudra is also okay. So you can hold it for however long you want.
So Pankaja mudra, before you do the Pankaja mudra, you have to do the Prithvi mudra, is it?
No, nothing. No orders for anything. Even 1 minute in the morning is enough. Then 2 minutes somewhere in the afternoon. You have to be fit enough, right? So whenever you wake up, you hold the mudra, go back to sleep, and then, it's kind of work with yourself. Whenever time permits, whenever body permits, listen to your body is the first thumb rule. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Don't forget that. Okay. Next is your fever due to cold. You catch a cold, and when the cold becomes severe, you end up with a fever. Hachu, yes, Omkar, yes, your hachu has come. Now, you first have to, I'm not even sure if you've thought on these process, thought on these lines, that your fever due to cold, is it on account of excess heat or excess cold? Both can be the reason. On excess heat also you catch a cold. In summer, sometimes you catch a cold and you have running nose all the time. 10 kerchiefs, 11 kerchiefs go for a toss. And sometimes it goes with severe cold in the body, when cold increases in the body. Okay, then it becomes chest congestion. Like your freezer, your body starts working like a freezer for all the mucus in the body, and it creates a congestion, correct? So that time you have to activate the heat in the body. So first identify whether your cold is on because of heat, or is it because of cold. If it is because of heat, immediately the doctor anyway will tell you drink lots of fluids. If it is because of cold, they will say drink lots of cold, warm liquids, correct? Steamer, when you have congestion. So accordingly, if it is because of heat, go back to your Pankaja mudra, your Prithvi mudra, and your Prana mudra. If it is because of severe cold, you need to activate the heat in the body. How to activate the heat in the body?
Reduce water, reduce cold. No?
No. How to increase heat in the body? Call upon our
Adi Mudra, is it?
Tapping.
Adi
Samana
will
Mudra?
Reduce it, right?
increases the heat in the body. How to
The
increase? I told
Samana
you.
Mudra?
Tap, tap.
Fire element on top of.
No. Surya Mudra. Metabolic rate reset increases the digestive power in the body.
Surya Mudra.
Surya Mudra. That is, bring your Prithvi Mudra down and the thumb goes behind it. I told you, no, in the first class, Linga Mudra and Surya Mudra, for all lung congestion, you're getting WhatsApp forward now. Drink lots of fluids and hold this mudra for decongestion. And fluids does not mean only water. It is a combination of all juices, except citric. Okay? Wonderful. If it's because of excess heat, okay, if now this is because of excess cold, so increasing the heat in the body. If it's because of excess heat, we saw Pankaja Mudra, Prithvi Mudra and Prana Mudra. Along with it, rub oil in your feet sole. Make it a habit every day because it's very good for eyesight. So every day in bed, before you hit your bed, apply oil in your sole of your feet. Nicely press and rub. Okay, and your toes also. Your hand should go between your toes and apply the oil there. Okay, so that is your fever due to heat. And whenever you're applying oil to your feet, first thing you should do is apply 3 drops on your top of your head. What happens to heat? It will rise upwards. Okay, so first apply here 3 drops and then you apply to the sole of the feet. Otherwise, it will hit here and other disorders will start. Already disorders happening, non-maintenance happening. So now this will add more value to it and it will expand it even more.
So any specific oil would you?
No. Any oil.
It's coconut oil.
Anything which is body is comfortable to.
Okay.
If you come South India, they'll say castor oil. Correct. So
Yeah.
especially when there is excess heat. Okay, castor oil, and then they will suggest Kerala side coconut oil, til oil in Tamil Nadu. So choose the right oil which your body is adjusted to. Okay? Unless your Ayurveda doctor gives you another suggestion with mixed herbs. So go, that will be the best. So if you're not in touch with any of the Ayurveda doctors, do use the regular oil which you use for your body massage. Okay. Enough complication with the fingers. Let's not complicate with other details. Okay. Now, the next important condition that all of us face is our knee pain, correct? So knee pain is our challenge. Now, knee pain, to understand the challenge with the knee pain, we need to know how the knee is constructed. It's a joint, right? So knee joint, again, it can be psychogenic pain. If you observe, knee pain is mostly found in elderly people. What happens as we grow old? It applies to us also as we grow old. What happens is we lose the capability to do our activities in the same speed as we used to do in our young days. And when that happens and we are like sometimes need somebody's help, hey, I'm not able to multitask. You do this task, I will do this task. It hurts us, our mind, to go ask somebody else for that help. I'm so independent, so used to being independent, that midlife crisis where you hit all the poles and get everything accomplished. Now suddenly you're depending. It's going to hit you very much in the mind. So that is going to cause a lack of self-esteem. You start doubting yourself. Am I capable? You're starting to doubt yourself. You're going to be on a mode of dependent stage, you feel. So it's actually, that could be a psychogenic pain, a lack of self-esteem or a depletion in your self-esteem. So your first work on that. Let it be. Now it's the turn for the next generation to take on. Let them help. They're going to get my experience with the Panchabhutas in this world for a longer time than them. Give them a chance, sit back, watch and celebrate them, pamper them, tell them you're in the right direction. There will be mistakes. Not that we started off on a great note. We also had our own challenges. Our parents had more challenges with us. So let's have it with the next generation. Let's enjoy them. Let's let them fall and learn. Do not go and help them. They will climb up on their own. just sit back and give, if they ask, give your advice and take a lot of help from them. Every time you take help from them, you will be helping, doing them a favor, because they're going to get good karmas from you. Okay, so that is going to be a blessing for them, and they are most needed for the planet to survive in the long run. Okay, so keep blessing and keep encouraging the youngsters with mistakes to proceed on their path and guiding them if they ask for it. Otherwise, just sit back and watch. They will come out with their own ideas, which will be, remarkable compared to what we did. Oh my God, I never thought there was an angle like this to it. So let's celebrate them and celebrate the next generation and skip knee pain in the process. Okay, when we do this, celebrate other success, our knee pain is going to vanish. So in that process, if it's a psychogenic related pain, first rule that out. Otherwise, observe the joint. The joint works with the grease, the lubrication. So that is which mudra? You're all becoming doctors. So the lubrication, how will you correct it? With balancing of that lubrication element. Which will be the first mudra you will prescribe? Lubrication comes under which category of the Panchabhutas?
Space category.
Lubrication, grease.
It's water.
Ah,
Water element. Yeah.
correct. So which mudra?
Increase. No, balance.
Not increase, always balance. So Varuna
Okay.
mudra, balance.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So knee pain, we got answer. Varuna mudra, one of them. And then blocks. What does the doctor say? Must be Vayu is stuck there. Correct? So Vayu mudra. Second is Vayu mudra to release all the block, any air block there. Other fingers are joined together. Okay. So knee pain, we have one is balancing the lubrication. Second is reducing the air element. Then third is something called Sandhi Mudra, where you're strengthening your bone, connect with earth, and also your calcium intake. So we are going to have a combination mudra. Right hand mein Prithvi Mudra, left hand mein Akash Mudra. This is your Sandhi Mudra. This is the first combination mudra. Yes, wonderful. Right hand is Prithvi Mudra, bone strengthening, earth connection, and left hand is Akash Mudra, space adjustment, and your calcium absorption. So, Sandhi Mudra, I conducted specially for retired Indian Bank AGM and DGM category special mudra session. Their managers shared with us, a retired DGM shared with us that she's been doing this for the last 2 years and found tremendous relief doing Sandhi Mudra from knee pain. Okay. And then, which is the concluding mudra?
Prana mudra.
Wonderful. Prana mudra. Yes. Excellent. Okay. This is for your knee pain. Prana mudra need not be held only after holding all the 3 mudras. They can hold it during the day, that along with the other mudras. So there is no particular order. You can hold Varuna mudra in the morning, Prana mudra in the morning, evening you can hold the other mudras. Okay, there's no particular order. And then back pain, regular. Okay, back pain is very challenging. There are 2 types of back pain. One because of old age and one because of excessive stress on the back. Okay, misuse of your back. Correct? The right way to say it is misuse of your back. Suddenly you get into celebration mode and bring out all the vessels, especially Navratri time, Golu time, everything from the attic is brought, Deepavali time to decorate your house, all your decorations are brought out, and then packing it. At least when you bring it, excitement is there, mind is a happy mode, okay? And then you pack it up is a big activity. Oh my God, packing and putting it up, and you know how grumbling happens on all the phone calls, okay? And so that packing and unloading and loading is going to give you a back pain, okay? And second is your sudden activity overnight, spending in front of the system, crooning and always in a particular pose and stuck with the neck in a particular angle, then that is going to give your, what is it called, backache again. Okay, that is going to give you a backache again. And or sudden games. Okay, and gardening, my God, you've seen people gardening, they never lift their back. They're always bent down and they're working with the root. I don't know how much they'll talk to the plant, hug it tightly, talk to it and play with the roots, pamper the roots, all that. And you're so much bent along with it, you're lost so much into it that you forget your back. Correct? Yes. Yeah, I should talk about my gardening connect sometime in another session. No time to go into it. It's a beautiful journey. Nothing like that. Okay. Anyway, here the gardening is another challenge where you're actually lost. And drawing, passion. All your passions are, I will finish this and get up. Whether it is drawing or whether it is singing, I will not take back rest. That hurts me. Okay. I should not take back rest. I should sit back, straight back. What will God think of me? Okay, so all these complications we bring to our mind and we forget celebrating the divine holding the sharira, and the back pain sets in. So there's two types of back pain. One is old age related, another is this. First, let's conquer the old age related. It's very easy. So, but you need to know again how that part is constructed. What am I doing in this session is I'm guiding you that whenever there is a challenge you're facing, kindly go through that challenge, the organs related and how it functions before you prescribe any mudras. Okay. Then coming to it, the backbone for elderly people, you have the vertebrae, bone after bone connected with each other. Yes, backbone is not a single bone. All of you are aware of that? Multiple vertebrae. Okay. Now you have the cervical part holding the neck straight. Then you have the thoracic part holding your chest, abdomen in place. And then you have the lumbar region holding your lower abdomen organs in place. Okay. It's a support system. Okay. So the entire backbone is structured that way. And this is where the strain falls because they have been misusing their back, either bending forward or not doing yoga. All you have to do is do one Surya Namaskara every day and there will be at least one, if not 13. So that is going to take care of all. No other yogasana is required. Just Surya Namaskara is good enough because it takes care of all your chakras. It takes care of all your bones and your physical aspects. Okay. That itself is and sun god. Whom else can you pray to? The sustainer of this earth. Ishavasyam. Okay. So connect with that sustainer of this universe and do the Surya Namaskara. No back problem. Now that we have back problem, the cervical has to be focused on, the thoracic has to be focused on the lumbar region. And all you have to do is hold the thumbs up. Okay. The first position to work on your lumbar region, make it look inwards on your lap. Both the palms on your lap, facing inwards, facing inwards. Yes. This is going to work. No stiffness, neck and back straight, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed, smile on the face, no specs. Breathe in and breathe out, thumbs facing inside, fist closed. Normal breathing for people with severe back pain, 10 count of breaths here. Breathe in and complete focus on your lumbar region. Neck and back relaxed and straight. Elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Chin up. Eyes gently closed, big smile on the face. Start your breath count. Take a deep breath in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Every inhalation energizes the body. Every exhalation relaxes the body. Another breath in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And gently bring your palms together. Continue with eyes closed, rub your palms, cup your face, open your eyes into your palm. So any pain in your lumbar region, thanks to sitting and me punishing you with sitting all along, would have got cured. Yeah, the back pain is gone and the lumbar region. Next is your thoracic region. So the T1 to T12. So thumbs up, upward mode. Okay, so neck and back straight, Merudanda Mudra. Merudanda, it's called. So neck and back straight, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed, breathe in and breathe out. Observe your thoracic region, eyes gently closed, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Every inhalation energizes the body. Every exhalation relaxes the body. Breathe in, breathe out. Observe your thoracic region. Observe your backbone supporting the thoracic region. Breathe in, breathe out. Shanti, Vishranti, Vishranti. Continue with eyes closed. Rub your palms, cup your eyes, open your eyes into your palm. Your thoracic pain is gone. And for the cervical part, the same thumbs are outward. So the energy from the thumb tip to thumb tip is going to work, covering, giving you an aura all around and curing your back pain. So the thumbs are facing out on your lap, neck and back straight, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Smile on the face. Breathe in, breathe out. Observe your cervical part. Breathe in, breathe out. Vishranti. Gently relax. Rub your palms. Cup your face. Open your eyes into your palm. So that cures all segments of your backbone, your lumbar region, your thoracic region, and your cervical part. Okay. Now let's look at the next kind of the back pain, which is your heavy work, strained work. Okay. So nowadays there are no elders. All of them are youngsters. They are into multitasking already. So this applies to them also. Okay. So those elders who don't feel the pain is because of age and it's because of excess work, use this mudra. Understand the construct of this backbone in a different pattern. So it is actually called a spinal column. We saw the vertebrae for elderly people. Okay. The vertebrae is order. Now we're looking at a different aspect of the backbone where the spinal column itself is disturbed when you are sitting in the wrong posture. So the spinal column consists of space. Okay. And then it is got the water element, the fluid, cerebrospinal fluid flowing through it, and the wind moving down the spine. Okay, it is a spinal column where the vertebrae are set inside, but what we have disturbed is the elements playing inside it. So because the backbones are fit for all of us, the backbones are not disintegrating as in old age. It is the spinal column which is disturbed. The spinal column contains the backbone with the cerebrospinal fluid flowing down the spine, and your air movement in the spine, and this column itself with the space element. So it's a combination mudra. Again, your Meru Danda mudra for pain on account of strained back, middle finger and little finger to balance the space and water in your right hand. Middle finger, yes. And in your left hand, we're going to control the movement of the wind down the spine. For that, we need to press the nail of the index finger with our thumb. Wonderful. Right hand, space element and water element is balanced. Left hand, nail of the index finger to control the movement of the wind. Wonderful. And open to the sky, neck and back straight, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Oh, I get to see Priya ji finally. Okay. So wonderful there. Okay.
But I am not able to keep this steady without support.
Yeah,
so then if I have to...
See, can
I avoid the mudra in the left hand and just try to hold it straight? Is that okay?
No, don't do that. Just let it bend as much as it. Gradually, in a week's time, it will pick up.
Okay.
Unless you need it. This is a therapeutic mudra.
Right.
So only if you have back pain, you need to hold.
Yeah.
Okay, only Navratri time for you. You have overworked around that. Preeti ji is tremendous journey during Navratri time and a great contribution to all of us, a divine contribution. So we are all treading the divine path around that time. Can't thank them enough, the mother-daughter duo. So-
Incidentally, Umaji, all the Narayaniam ladies are also on your in your class today.
Oh, so
Priya ji, Deepa ji, they're all here.
thank you so much. It's been a great journey for us through her Navratri and Margari. And with that, December season was a greater hit, more planned and more defined. So everything starts off on such a divine note, and how the divine drives it, we can see it, right? Okay, coming back to Merudanda Mudra. So this is how you hold it. It's a therapeutic mudra. All that we're learning today are all therapeutic mudras except our Adi Mudra. Okay, so that is always our child. We've been holding it from our the moment we were born. So that continues through. Now, going forward, we need to look at the COVID-related mudras. Do we have the time? Okay. Quickly, we will do sinus problem, BP problem, ENT problem, memory enhancing. Very easy mudra, and most important, relaxing. This is a relaxing mudra for all the mudras held. The kind of strain I've given you with all the mudras today, your chakra mudra, surabhi mudra. So the hands are strained. So this is with your right hand, you have samana mudra, and start from the base of every finger to the tip. 20 times in your bed or whenever you're around, 5 times in the morning, 5 times. Don't do it gently. That's your finger. Yes, love it, smile. And you can do for others, the others can do for you. Okay, that is also allowed. More bonding and more love in the air. Okay, so then the middle finger. Yes, from the bottom to the top. And then your ring finger. And then your little finger. Same with the other hand. See, as you're doing this hand, the other hand is already craving for it. And all the 5 fingers together, what we generally do is we tend to bring 2 other fingers separate when we do it. If you observe, slowly, first time we will be conscious, second time we'll be conscious, third time we're shifting our mind, the hands separate, and 2 fingers will do the massage. So ensure it is Samana Mudra each time and do it gently from the bottom to the tip. From the bottom to the tip. Very gently. Love yourself, love your fingers, love the creator there who's doing all the magic, and celebrate the mudra. Okay, that is your Karavai mudra. It is sinus problem, BP problem, ENT problem corrected, and your memory is enhanced. You get all the benefits. It's all there on my blog, so don't worry. Okay, now hands, you have severe pain, elbow, frozen shoulder, and hand pain and finger pain because of the mudras. One more mudra is your hand mudra. So make a fist, cover the side like this tightly, bring the fist open to the sky, little finger touching each other. Okay, this is your mudra for frozen shoulders and any pain in your hand. Water balance happens and the entire hand gets corrected. Pain in the hand gets relieved. So a lot of writing, lot of typing, you can hold this mudra whenever you take a break. So we saw people speaking, orators holding Udana Mudra. Now we see writers and instrument players. Okay, all of these. Who played the instrument today for us? Thank you, Omkar. All of you missed it. Omkar played tabla for us. So all those who play instruments can hold this mudra to relieve any pain in the hands. Tightly close on the side. The thumb should close this gap and the little fingers are touching each other. Okay. Now, very important mudra to purify blood and the body. Detoxification mudras. 3 mudras here. The first mudra is your Bhramara mudra. Okay, the Vayu, it's a combination mudra, and this is also a mudra for curing all allergies. So no more allergy. Go to the doctor, he'll say allergy can be from 2000 items in this world. I have to one by one rule out everything. Is it nut? Is it milk? Is it milk products? I have to rule out. Is it your pollination? Is it the mosquito? At one point of time, doctor said the saliva from the mosquito is giving you allergy. Can you imagine? See how complicated we can make our lives to be. So this is the allergy curing mudra. We can never find out. So here you have the air element. Allergy is mostly a manifestation of the mind. Okay, so if you control the mind, it becomes all right. So the vayu, the first thought waves are controlled, and then you hold the side, first cut in your thumb, middle finger on the side with your thumb. This is your Bhramara Mudra. In your dance class, you will see the tip is held together to create a Bhramara. Okay, and the little other two fingers are joined together. In dance, they keep it separate. So here in Mudra, we will keep it together. This is looking like your honeybee. Any bumblebee, okay, any wasp, all of these look like this. This is how it is depicted. Now we will hold it on the side, the first cut. If you remember, if you don't, even touching the tip of the middle finger is good enough. Okay, allergy curing mudra. So this allergy is gone. So mind is decluttered to some extent. Then you have separating the earth items with the space items. Earth and water separate, vayu and space separate. This is again your purification, no detoxification. Sorry, this is for detoxification. The toxification is removed. Where is all your diseases coming from? Either waterborne or airborne, correct? And when they come in contact with each other. So this is your V-shaped mudra to detoxify the body. Purify the blood. This purifies the blood. Arthritis, bone marrow infection, and purification of blood takes place with this mudra. And how are impurities thrown out? Fasting mudra. This is called Vishahara mudra. All your allopathy side effects also go with this mudra. The same mudra continues. Your thumb goes to the base of the Prithvi on the side, as if you're feeling the pulse. Okay, this is your fasting mudra. So you're doing fasting to detoxify yourself. Along with this, hold this mudra, it's going to add benefit to it. Okay. So this is your mudra for, this is called the Shuddhi mudra. It is also called Vishahara mudra. This is very good for removing, so you can eat as many medicines you want and still hold this mudra. The side effects of your allopathy medicine goes for a toss, especially for people who feel bad. So this cleanses the blood. This is for your fasting time, and this removes the toxin from the body. Okay. Now, very important 3 mudras before I conclude with Omkara. So one of them is Swasha mudra. Okay. This is your Swasa mudra for COVID patients. Whomever you know, middle finger, the space has to be enhanced. The space has to be worked upon. All of the fingers. So palms together, then middle finger, bend it and join it. Only the middle finger. Other fingers are not joined, kept apart. Yes, this is your Swasha mudra. Your lung capacity is enhanced. Okay, wonderful. And then
What about the thumb?
thumb is also open. Thumb is also open. All are open, separate. Only your middle finger is bent and touching each other. Okay, then you have Ganappa mudra. Who is Ganappa? Whom do you think of when you say Ganappa?
Ganapati.
Ganapati, who comes to your mind?
Elephant.
Elephant, wonderful. So in Yoga Shastra, Ekatattva Abhyasa, whenever you concentrate on any one thing, you get the entire energy of that thing in you. Okay, you get the tattva of that, the essence, the subtlety in that dimension you can grasp into yourself. That is why we are taught to keep our focus in the right things all the time. And if you can keep your focus on the divine, you become the divine. Okay, so that is the journey into divinity. So now keeping your focus on Ganappa, entire strength of the Ganesha or the elephant you're going to gain in your body. Okay, that is why we always say hold the mudras with reverence. Now, here you're going to hold it at your chest level. How do you hold it? So Ganappa is this another special feature. He goes on a mouse without crushing it. What is his Vahana? Mushika, correct. So Mushika Vahana. So I can see all the lip, I'm doing a lot of lip reading here. So Mushika, and so there is harmony. Okay. So whenever you're holding this mudra, there's going to be harmony in the house. Okay. So I said how to win a war in the beginning with Panchamukhi mudra. Now I'm teaching you how to maintain harmony with Ganappa mudra. So Ganappa mudra, you're going to hold it to expand your lungs, to expand your shoulder challenges, your elbow, and your breathing capabilities. So cup your finger like this. Yeah. Neck and back straight, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Inhale, exhale, and pull it. Create tension. Inhale, relax your hand. Exhale, tighten your grip. Inhale, relax. Exhale, tighten your grip. Inhale, relax. Exhale, tighten your grip. Similarly, reverse. Inhale, relax. Exhale, tighten your grip. So inhale, relax. Exhale, tighten your grip. And create tension in your interlocked palms at your chest region. So the lung expansion happens and respect builds. Your heart works faster. Anahata chakra is activated here. And your shoulders, your elbow shoulders and your shoulder joints and your frozen shoulder problems are also vanish. Okay. Any other questions? Immunity mudra, we know this. Happy mudra you want? All of you need happiness mudra or already happy? Okay. Happiness mudra is very simple. Keep the thumb bent towards the palm. Do not touch the inside of the palm. Just place all the other 4 fingers on the palm like this. One, beautiful, without touching the palm. One above the other, both hands. So that is your happiness mudra. Does it look like smiling? Your teeth on your lips? Teeth on your lips, yeah, wonderful. So that is your happiness mudra. So time to conclude the session with Omkara. I might take, this is a journey into another beautiful journey. Omkara is not general Omkara. It is Akara, Ukara, Makara and Omkara. So we started our session there with Om, Shabda Brahman, the Sarvagna Bija, when it opened up. First, to beautifully manifest this universe, we saw the light, heat and sound emerge. Is it okay to extend by another 5 minutes? Okay, so we're going to visit this Akara, Ukara, Makara. There are Om, Buhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, 3 worlds. Similarly, every species in this earth also has got 3 worlds in each of them. We have the abdomen, the chest region and the head region. Take an insect, abdomen, chest region, head region. Take a, only thing is our backbone is vertical, their backbone is horizontal. And then you have trees, again, their roots and their trunk and their branches. Okay, so all of them, all of us have 3 worlds in each of us. So similarly, we have 3 worlds within us, the chest, abdomen region, chest region and head region. Now we are going to be working on all the 3 regions. Okay, so Akara will be from the abdominal region. It's called abdominal breathing. Okay, then Ukara is going to be from the chest region, Ukara breathing. Okay, and then you have Makara from the head region. So it is called Udara Shwasa, stomach breathing. Uru Shwasa, chest breathing. If you are doing the Namavali and all your pujas, you will observe all these names coming there. So Udara Shwasa, Uru Shwasa, Griva Shwasa, clavicular breathing. Okay, this is called sectional breathing pattern. Akara, Ukara in chest, Makara in your head region. And then, so Akara separately 3 times, Ukara separately 3 times, Makara separately 3 times, Omkara once, all the way from the abdomen, all the way to the head region. Again, another Omkara from the abdomen. I will be giving you instruction. You will be following it. Only thing is I will ask you all to be on mute and I will ask all of you to follow, close your eyes and open it only after I conclude the session. So it's going to be a beautiful energy journey now. So feel it and practice it along with me. Okay, so let me finish the instructions before we launch into it. Then Urushwasa is your chest breathing. So Omkara will start from your Nabhi, travel through your Hridaya, all through your Kanta. Ask any musician, that is how your journey into music should be. Nabhi, Hrit, Kanta, Rasa is your music. So that is how the Akara, Ukara, Makara. So these people into music don't need all these practices. They are already into the divine. Okay, so Akara, Ukara, Makara 3 times and 3 times of Omkara. Okay, so I will quickly share a screen with that picture, which will give you a clarity. Okay, can you see this? This is abdominal breathing, thoracic breathing, and clavicular breathing. This is Akara at your Udara Shwasa, stomach part. Thoracic breathing is Uru Shwasa, which is your chest breathing, and Griva Shwasa, which is your clavicular breathing, neck breathing. 3 sections of breathing. Okay, then I will share one more for mudras. So we're going to hold 3 mudras here. Ignore the Vayu mudra, that is for a general this thing. So the 3 mudras are, first mudra is your chin mudra for your abdominal breathing. Only when you do meditation with chin mudra, it is called Jnana mudra. If you're doing this for breathing pattern and pranayama part, where meditation is not the focus, then it is called the chin mudra. Mudra is the same, name only takes a different change. Okay. Now, this is your mudra for abdominal region. Then, Chinmaya mudra, where you press your fingers into your palm. So, Chin mudra with all the other 3 fingers bent down. This is called Chinmaya mudra, and this is for activating the lungs. I told you, no, all the lung region points are here. So, this will activate the lungs. So, Chinmaya mudra here. Now you have to tell me, and the supply of oxygen will be enormous to the chest region because the chest will open up with the Chinmaya mudra. Lungs will open up. We have already done Ganappa mudra and expanded our lungs. So now Chinmaya mudra is going to activate it even more. Prana is going to be circulating there. What is happening with every mudra? Back to basics. Prana will get recirculated to enhance it. So the lungs are going to get expanded and your chest breathing is going to improve. Okay. Now you have to tell me which is the next mudra for working on the Griva Shwasa for your head region.
Adi Mudra.
Wonderful. Clap, clap, clap for Omkar. Adi Mudra. First mudra we learned in today's class, which is going to supply oxygen to the head region. So when we are doing clavicular breathing, neck breathing, we're going to hold Adi Mudra. And all of them on your lap, on your thighs, open to the sky. Okay, on your thighs. Now the last mudra after that for Omkara will be your Brahmara mudra. These 2 brought together. Adi mudra brought together and placed in the middle of the thigh. Neck and back straight, just like your Dhyana mudra. So these 2 are together and placed here. All the elements are controlled. All the elements are balanced. Can you see that? All the elements are reduced. All the elements are balanced. And you are in connect with the divine. Brahma has gone inside and you're going inwards too. Okay, so let's start. Remove your specs. We will start now. After the Adi Mudra, after the Omkara 3 times, I will continue with concluding shloka, Shanti for all the Panchabhutas and Sarvesham like yesterday. And then we will open our eyes together, if body permits. Okay, neck and back straight, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Kindly excuse the time extended. Normal breathing first. Hold your chin mudra, eyes gently closed. Neck and back straight, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Normal breathing, breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now for Udara Shwasa, abdominal breathing, take a deep breath in, breathe in some more, bloat your stomach, push your diaphragm out, push your diaphragm out. Breathe in, breathe in. Continue with elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. And as you exhale, navel to spine. Pull the navel to the spine and exhale completely. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Bloat your stomach. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Keep exhaling. Navel to the spine. One more round. Continue with eyes closed. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. As you exhale, start chanting Akara and pull the navel to the spine. One more time. Inhale. Inhale some more. Inhale some more. Push the stomach out. Hold, hold. As you exhale, Akara. One more time. Breathe in. Observe your body opening up. Breathe in. Push your diaphragm down, bloating your stomach. Hold. With a smile, chant Akara, pulling the navel to the spine. Normal breathing now. Normal breathing. Continue with Chinmaya Mudra. Chin Mudra with all the other 3 fingers bent down into your palm. Neck and back straight, elbows relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out normally. Now for Urushvasa, chest breathing. Breathe in, expand your chest. Some more. Some more. Hold. Hold. As you exhale, chant Ukara. Ooh. Contract your chest. Ooh. Start inhaling again. Inhale. Inhale some more. Keep expanding your chest. Hold. Start exhaling with Ukara and contracting your chest. Ooh. Third round. Take a deep breath in. Expand your chest some more. Some more. Hold. As you exhale, contract your chest and chant Ukara. Ooh. Continue with eyes closed. Move on to Adi Mudra with normal breathing. Thumb tucked in. Connect with the divine. All the elements are subdued. Breathe normally. For Makara, observe your neck region, observe your head region. Take a deep breath in. Some more. Some more. Expand your neck. Now, as you exhale, chant Makara. Once more, take a deep breath in. Some more. Some more. Hold your breath. As you exhale, chant Makara. For the third round, continue breathing in. Breathe in some more. Breathe in some more. Expand your neck region. Observe your neck region. Hold. As you exhale, chant Makara. Continue with eyes closed. Bring your fist Adi Mudra together in the middle of your lap for Brahma Mudra. Hold Brahma Mudra with normal breathing. Now start inhaling for Omkara, Akara, Ukara, Makara together. Take a deep breath in. Breathe in some more. Fill in your stomach. Expand your chest to push your stomach out. Breathe in some more. Lungs expanded. Breathe in some more. Lungs filled all the way to the neck. As you exhale, shrink your stomach, shrink your chest, shrink your neck with Akara, Ukara, Makara. Take a deep breath in. Holding your breath. Exhale completely. Breathe in again. Expand your stomach. Fill in more air. Expand your chest. Expand your neck. Hold the breath. As you exhale, chant Omkara. Continue with eyes closed. Expand again. Start inhaling. Some more. Continue with eyes closed. Some more. Expand your stomach, chest, and your head, neck region. Fill air all the way to the neck. Fill some more. Fill some more. Hold. As you exhale and shrink your stomach, chest, and neck, chant Omkara, Akara, Ukara, Makara. Aum. Continue with the vibration inside. Observe the vibration activating every cell in your body. With a smile on your face, receive the divine to manifest itself in every cell. Feel the energy distribution happening. Feel the divine sparkling. Feel the light emanating through you, lighting up your cells, lighting up your body, oozing out of you into the surroundings around you. Feel yourself sitting inside a ball of light. Observe the Omkara vibration, connecting you with the divine, connecting you to the Hiranyagarbha. Let's thank the 5 elements. Continue with eyes closed as I chant the Shanti mantra. Take a deep breath. You be breathing normally. Take a deep breath in. Om Dhyau Shantirantariksam Shantihi Prithvi Shantirapaha Shantiroshadayah Shantihi Vanaspatayah Shantirvishve Deva Shanti Brahma Shantihi Sarvam Shantihi Shantireva Shantihi Sama Shantiredhi. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Continue with eyes closed. Let's continue for prayer to the world. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukbhag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Continue with eyes closed. Vishranti, Vishranti, Vishranti. Very gently, as you become aware of the surroundings, rub your palms. Keep rubbing your palms. Do not open your eyes. Cup your face. Feel the energy. Keep cupping your face. Now gently open your eyes into your palm when the time is right, when your body feels right. Very gently open your eyes. Apply the energy. Continue with closed eyes again after you open your eyes. Apply the energy all over your body. Feel the light around you. Again, rub your palms, cup your eyes. Open your eyes into your palm. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Umaji. May I request everybody to turn on your cameras one last time before we sign off?
Thank you so much, Umaji. This is Rekha here.
Thank you very much.
This is Sita here. Thank you so much.
I just want to say here, Umaji, what started as a community connect initiative has actually become a connect with our own individual selves. I don't think we realize that there is so much within us, you know, that the entire prana, the whole universe is within us. And I don't think one session is going to be enough to grasp even this much of what you have had to offer to us. So we're all extremely grateful for spending, 3 days consecutively, 3 evenings with us. And I'm sure everybody wants to take more learning from you. So I've put in my contact number here. You can leave your email IDs on the chat box. If I failed to communicate the recordings to you, please feel free to message me on my WhatsApp number and I will send the recordings and Umaji's blog post details and the Facebook connect so you can take this further along.
Thank
Thank
you very much.
Thank you so much, Umaji.
Chitra.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Umaji. It was an eye opener. What we take for granted, and
Thank you very much.
it's really amazing. Thank you so much. Lot of gratitude. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really, it's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
3
much
days,
for the wonderful
3 evenings
session.
were just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful. It was wonderful connecting to everyone and you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh. I got a lot of vibration from Rajesh ji, though he's been not on video.
Very enlightening. Very enlightening. I have a question though.
Yeah.
You said Surya Namaskar to be done 13 times. Why the number 13?
12 times because Surya Namaskar, there are 12 names to Aditya.
Of course. Okay.
Okay. So each one is going to bring out an energy in you.
Okay.
And each one is going to activate that, connect with you and open you out to the Ishvara, to the Surya. And the sun is if you read about light, you know, the visible spectrum and the invisible spectrum and how we know the spectrums. And there's a lot. If I start on the spectrum, it's a different journey. And Isha Vasya, you must read. It is the light which is playing all the illusions to us. So how to go beyond the light will be our journey when we connect with light. So time for 12 Adityas and concluding for this.
Okay.
Activating the solar energy in the cell. We have 3 types of heat, right? One is the thermal heat from the fire on earth, which comes from the flintstones and the friction. And one is from the solar, the sun, the lightning, the electrical energy. 3 types of then you have Panchagni. There's one more concept of Panchagni. All these are to be research items. I too have to do a lot of research.
Okay. Will you be connecting sessions often?
I do this once a month. I do